One of the most significant oversimplifications in the ND plus supplement market is the age-agnostic marketing that positions niacin, NR, or NMN as uniformly beneficial products for all adults. The mechanisms driving interest in ND plus supplementation are fundamentally age-related. NAD plus levels decline with aging, the enzymes that synthesize it become less active over time, and the cellular consumers of NAD plus, particularly DNA repair enzymes called PARPs that are activated by the DNA damage that accumulates with aging, become increasingly active, depleting the NAD plus pool faster than aging tissue can replenish it. If these are the processes being targeted, then a 28-year-old with robust NAD plus synthesis capacity and relatively intact DNA is a fundamentally different supplementation candidate than a 68-year-old whose synthesis enzymes are compromised and whose cellular repair demands are chronically elevated. For adults in their 20s and early 30s, the NAD plus decline curve hasn't yet produced significant physiological impact in most cases. NAD plus synthesis capacity, while beginning its slow decline, is still operating at relatively high efficiency. The NMPT enzyme, the rate-limiting enzyme in the primary NAD plus salvage pathway, remains adequately expressed. For this age group, the honest evidence-based recommendation is dietary optimization first. Meat, fish, whole grains, and dairy all provide meaningful amounts of niacin and its precursors. Adding expensive NAD plus supplements on top of an already adequate diet is unlikely to produce measurable benefits in young, metabolically healthy individuals, and the human trials supporting NAD plus supplementation have predominantly enrolled middle-aged to older adults, the population with documented declines. The picture begins shifting in the 40s and 50s. NAD plus levels, by some estimates, are roughly half of what they were at peak by age 50. The physiological consequences begin to manifest: slower recovery from exercise, mildly declining cognitive speed and working memory, reduced mitochondrial efficiency, and diminished cellular stress resilience. This is the window where moderate supplementation with niacin at 250 to 500 milligrams daily begins to have a more compelling evidence-based rationale, not because NAD+ will be restored to youthful levels, but because supporting the synthesis pathway against a documented decline is qualitatively different from supplementing on top of an already adequate baseline. The cost of niacin remains minimal at these doses, and the safety record is extensive. By the 60s and beyond, the calculus shifts further. NAD plus synthesis capacity is substantially reduced. Liver function, which plays a central role in processing NAD plus precursors, declines with age in ways that affect conversion efficiency. Kidney function similarly declines, affecting the excretion of metabolites and potentially altering the risk profile of higher supplementation doses. Age-related changes in gut absorption efficiency may reduce the bioavailability of orally administered precursors. These factors collectively suggest that older adults may require both higher doses and more attention to formulation, considering whether standard niacin is being absorbed and converted efficiently, whether extended release or liposomal formulations might improve delivery, and whether regular biomarker monitoring is warranted to confirm that supplementation is achieving the intended biological effect. The biological age consideration ultimately matters more than chronological age. An exceptionally healthy 65-year-old with good metabolic function may require less intervention than a metabolically compromised 50-year-old. But age remains the strongest general predictor of who is most likely to benefit meaningfully from NAD+ support.